Good evening everybody and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while, I know, but I'm a school teacher and at the end of the year school can be quite challenging. So I'm going to start sharing Christmas recipes with you now. The first one I'm going to make tonight is I'm going to do a Christmas cake. So a fruit cake with brandy. I'm making two, but the recipe will be, all the amounts I'm going to show you will be just for one. So I know people always say that their recipes are easy, but this one really is easy. You basically are going to make a fruit cake by soaking some fruit in brandy and then just by mixing a couple of things together. So let's get started immediately. So we're going to start by creaming the butter and the sugar, and if you look in my bowl, you'll see that maybe I over softened the butter a little, but if that happens, it's all good, don't worry about it. We're going to cream it, and today you will see it'll be quite easy because I over softened the butter, but usually this will take a good 5 minutes or so if you just left your butter on the counter to soften. Now when your butter and sugar are nice and creamy, you want to add your eggs one at a time. And you want to mix well after each addition. Now just remember, you're not going to have this much mixture because you are making one cake, I'm making two. So once the eggs are incorporated into the butter and sugar mixture, we are going to add the fruit. Now in this pot there is cake mix. There are cherries, that was part of the cake mix. There is mixed peel and there is brandy. I've soaked it in brandy overnight. And on this side, I have sifted flour with baking powder and mixed spice. And I'm going to add them alternately to the mixture. So I'm going to start with a bit of flour and I'm going to mix that in. Then we'll add some fruit. And I'm just going to incorporate that into the mixture as well. Then we go back to the flour. Some more fruit. And there really are no fixed amounts. You just keep on mixing until you've incorporated all the ingredients. So by the time you get to the last of the flour, your arm will be sufficiently lame because the mixture gets quite thick. And if you didn't over soften your butter, then your mixture will be even thicker than mine. Now once that has been mixed through, you add your chopped nuts and you just mix some more. And your mixture will look something like this. And that's it. You're basically just mixing everything together. So next I'm going to put them into pans. These are loose bottom cake pans that I've lined with baking paper, and I'm just going to put the mixture into there. I'm going to try and share it equally. So I wouldn't advise you to pour, spoon the mixture in. It's very thick. If you pour, then you're going to mess up your paper and it's not going to work out. Use a spatula to try and get all the mixture out because a lot of the mixture is inclined to stay behind. And you want to get all the moisture from here so that there's enough cake for all the fruit. Then just flatten the cakes as much as you can. Doesn't have to be perfect. So it's going to go into a preheated oven. It was preheated to 140 degrees Celsius. It bakes for somewhere between 3 and 4 hours. These are 25 centimeter loose bottom tins. These ones, if you have a tin like this, it's going to take 3.5 hours. So I'm going to put it into the preheated oven. And in 3.5 hours, we'll see what we have. So it's been 3.5 hours and I'm going to remove the cakes from the oven. They look lovely. I'd like to remove them right now, but that probably wouldn't be the wisest idea. But what I can do is I can take the side off so you can see what the cake looks like from the side. So these are catering cake pans, so their sides don't come loose like the others, they're a bit different. So I need to give it some height, and then remove the side like that. So let's remove the paper and see what we have. So in a few minutes time, I'll take them off the bottoms and I'm going to put them on the cooling racks to cool. And then when they are completely cold, I will show you what happens next. So the cake has reached room temperature and there are just two things left to do. We're going to add some brandy and then wrap it for storage. So I've got a 1/4 cup measure and I'm going to take a 1/4 cup of brandy and I'm just going to drop it over the top of the cake. And you'll see when you do this, it's very satisfying because this cake isn't alcoholic. It's very, very thirsty. Now don't use an expensive brandy because you can't taste the difference in the cake. So you're going to need a lot more wrapping than you think. You can see I've got quite big pieces and we're just going to cover it. You're going to cover it with baking paper and you'll see I fold the edges up. And I'll tell you why in a sec. And then over the baking paper, you're going to cover it with foil. And you'll see once again, I fold the edges up. Now the reason I fold the edges up is because the cake is not finished. It needs to be branded every week. So what I'm going to do on here is, today is Tuesday, so I'm going to write Tuesday on here because I've already made 2 cakes. These are cakes number 3 and 4. So I'm going to write Tuesday on here. And then every Tuesday, I'm going to take my 1/4 cup measure and I'm going to add another 1/4 cup of brandy to the cake until we get to Christmas. So that's it. That's my Christmas cake. I hope you've enjoyed the recipe. I hope that you'll enjoy making the Christmas cake, and I hope that at Christmas you'll enjoy eating your Christmas cake. If you enjoyed the video, please like it, and if you enjoyed my other videos, please subscribe to my channel, and you will see me in a week's time with another Christmas recipe. Have a good evening.